and welcome to the second episode of Female Empowered Media.
We're so excited to be back. I'm Gemma.
And I'm Freya, and we are your presenters for today's show.
So Freya, how's your week been and how are you feeling about Halloween?
Oh, it's been a really interesting one. I think it's been a slow start to the week and I definitely needed it after a busy week last week. But it's just been nice doing a few classes, stuff like that. In terms of Halloween, I'm starting to rewatch like some horror movies. I've been trying to do one every day of the month of
Halloween
October.
Movies have you been watching?
Oh, so we watched The Thing the other night, which I've never seen it before, and that was really good. It's like really like body horror sort of thing. And then me and my friend went to see The Substance in cinemas last week, and that is a massive like body horror one.
It seems so interesting, but I can't deal with body horror at all.
It was so gross. Genuinely, it was awful. How about you?
Just very stressful week. It's a lot of assignments coming up.
Oh.
But I've been really excited for us to be presenting together.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I am excited about Halloween, but the one thing that worries me is walking home in the dark.
Yeah, me too. Although this is a feeling most women feel all around the year. A recent study, it was discovered that 66% of women feel unsafe walking home at night.
Our reporters Hannah and Paige went to find out what the people in Manchester thought.
I'm Paige Stoddart and I'm here at Peel Park campus at the University of Salford to find out how people feel about walking home on their own at night. So, what's your name?
My name's Ashana.
And how do you feel about walking home at night?
I've just moved to the city, so it's a much bigger, like, scarier place. But I never walk home alone. I'm always with my boyfriend, like I was saying.
Yeah.
So it's a lot less scary when I have him right there.
Yeah, so is that like a precaution you feel like you take, is having your boyfriend with you? Do you not feel comfortable walking alone without him?
No. So when I would do it before, when I'm not with him, I would always be on the phone to one of my friends, constantly looking around. But, like, I feel fine with a man with me right there.
Not too bad. I mean, it depends on the place.
Right.
Like-
So are there particular places that you feel...
Exactly, yeah. Like here in Salford, probably I'd feel a little bit more worried than
Yeah.
somewhere else, you know what I mean?
Like home.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I feel a lot safer walking out.
Yeah, because you know the surroundings and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are there any precautions that you do take when you walk home alone?
Try and take public transport instead of walking, or try and take the scooters,
Right.
I guess.
If I'm wearing headphones, I don't put both of them in.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
valid.
Someone's going to
That's
sneak
valid.
up behind me.
I've never walked home by myself at night, I don't
Really?
think.
Is there a reason
Probably.
why?
I do not feel safe at the time. I do walk with friends, but obviously still feel nervous.
Yeah.
A lot of looking back over the shoulder.
Yeah.
I feel a lot safer when I get on campus.
Why is that?
I think there's like security and students around.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah.
Yeah.
If any thoughts on this?
I agree. Are there any precautions you take?
Maybe there should be. I think there's a lot of checking over the shoulder and like making
Yeah.
sure you're with a friend, text friends, call people.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think I've ever walked back by myself.
Yeah. And do you have anything that you think the government could do differently that would make you feel safer at night?
I don't know. There's a lot of dark areas around Manchester that are like, those are the bits that like are quite scary even with him.
Yeah.
So just like adding more lighting on the streets at night, because like a shortcut from the city is through the park, but it's pitch black.
Yeah, it is.
So that's like, just add more lights to make us feel a bit more like we can see.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
More lights.
More lights.
Lights.
Yeah, that's a good
Some
that's a good
areas.
point. More lights.
I think maybe just a bit more awareness that people feel nervous walking by themselves. Well-lit paths help a lot.
Yeah.
And there's people around. There are some like organisations that are like out on nights out.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, maybe more of that,
Yeah.
especially around student areas.
Definitely, yeah.
Thank you, Paige and Hannah. And while we're on the topic of women's safety, we think it's important to provide the Strut Safe phone line.
Strut Safe are a group of volunteers who can offer a friendly voice on the phone to keep you company on your journey home. The number is 0333 335 0026. The line is open from 7 p.m. to 3 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays and 7 p.m. until 1 a.m. on Sundays.
Now, as this is a Halloween special, Gemma, what's your favourite scary movie?
I feel like I'm not a great person to ask about this. I was saying to you before, I typically prefer to watch like Halloween specials on TV and stuff. Although show that I was brought to my attention that I really need to rewatch is Scream Queen.
I love Scream Queens. That is my like OG little scary little show. I love Glenn Powell, Emma Roberts, sort of thing like that. And you got the OG Scream Queen, Jamie Lee Curtis in there as well. So it's quite good.
Speaking of Scream Queen, the archetype is notorious in horror films. Now, as we've established, I'm not a horror film fanatic, but Frey, you're rather interested in how women are represented in horror, aren't you?
Absolutely. I think horror is my like number one, and research has shown that 52% of on-screen slayings were female, which is just half the total body count. According to Laura Mulvey's Visual Pleasure and Narrative Cinema, traditional cinema places the spectator in a masculine viewing position, perpetuating a male gaze that forces female characters to maintain passive roles as objects of desire. But however, this is where horror differs. I think they have the archetype of the final girl who is over-masculinized to people like Laurie Strode, Sally Hardesty from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They're people who are over-masculinized, and as a result they survive. It's people who are quite innocent compared to their counterparts. And you have campaigns such as the marketing campaign in Jennifer's Body most recently, where Megan Fox was sort of over-sexualized and marketed as like the main thing, as like you go to see it, it's like Transformers. You go to see it because Megan Fox is hot. Whereas that's not what was going to happen. The director wanted it to be more of an advertisement of like violence in women and stuff like that, and how passive it is and how it can be explored. But yeah, more recently, females, final girls have been more mentally deranged and sort of look into like mental health and everything like that. And it's a really interesting study. I recommend you go read up on that if you haven't already.
That sounds really interesting. I know that I said that I'm not big on horror, but I do want to venture into it, and that's really interesting looking at the gender difference as well.
I think it's really good in terms of horror and women. It's a really interesting study and look into it. When I was doing my research on it, it sort of opened up my mind to how women can be portrayed in films and how horror is, whilst it isn't the best, it is one of the better genres for representing women as more human instead of just archetypal people, like with the final girl or stuff like that. So, yeah.
So, Freya, on the back of women in horror, what have you come dressed up as?
Well, I am dressed as Drew Barrymore in Scream. I'm dressed as Casey. She gets, spoiler alert, she gets offed in the first scene, but it's quite an iconic piece of like marketing because Drew Barrymore was all over the marketing for Scream, and they kill her off in the first 5 minutes. I thought that was really interesting. So yeah. And what have you come dressed as?
You see, I don't have a specific costume, but I was saying to you about how I was inspired by Lisa Frankenstein, so hence the hair.
Frankenstein.
With makeup, I tend to go for the spiderweb eyeliner. I'm not sure the camera's picking up on it well, but that's what was the intention.
No, I think it works really well, to be honest with you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, on the back of talking about costumes, our reporters Emma and Anna took to the public to investigate the pressures that women feel about their costumes.
Okay, guys.
I love it, the mini mic.
It's an Anna and Emma takeover, isn't it?
It is.
So we're here in Media City today. Why are we here, Emma?
Well, we're on a news day, but we are actually both kind of like set and ready for the news day, aren't we? We're going to go and ask some people what they feel about Halloween costumes being sexualised.
Yeah,
Halloween.
and do girls feel pressured to dress sexy on Halloween? Let's go.
I'm dressed up as a pirate.
Okay, did you feel a certain way when planning your costume to dress a certain way when it came to that?
Maybe, yeah, I think so, because like if you like look on Amazon or like Shein or something, like Halloween costumes, they're all like a certain way, like quite sexual and like short, like corset sort of thing.
Do you think there's a pressure around dressing up sexy for Halloween?
Yeah, maybe, because you see, like, if you were to go out, you'd see, like, girls, like, literally wearing next to nothing, and then you'd feel like, oh, like, I kind of look a bit weird here when I'm dressing, like, proper, sensible, do you know what I mean?
So, on Halloween, do you feel like there is a pressure on girls to dress a certain way on Halloween?
I don't think there is, personally. I feel like there shouldn't be pressure at all, no matter whether it's Halloween or not, for anyone, really, girls or guys, to kind of dress in a certain manner.
So, as a girl, do you feel like a certain pressure to dress in a certain way on Halloween?
100%. I think as women, we all kind of feel a need to dress sexy on Halloween, but not too sexy that you come across as slutty. and then you may feel unsafe if you're out in a quite revealing outfit, but you should feel empowered because you should embrace your body and dress how you want to dress. But then if you wanted to dress scary and be completely covered up, then you may be judged for doing that as well. So I think you can't really win as a woman.
Yes, I do believe there is a pressure towards girls, because if they dressed up as like a goblin or something, they'll probably get the death stare the whole entire time.
I don't think there's a pressure. I do think it's nice to dress a little bit sexy on Halloween because you're allowed to, but I also think it's really funny to not dress sexy and kind of surprise people with silly costumes.
Do you feel pressure to dress like sexy on Halloween?
No, I don't feel pressure to, because I think it's sexy to go something funny and a bit outrageous as well. I think that's like hilarious. Like I could look really sexy, but I'm not gonna.
So Gemma, do you ever feel pressure to dress a certain way on Halloween?
I thought that I didn't feel any pressure, but looking back on it now, I feel this urge not necessarily to dress sexy, but to still be very cute and feminine.
Yeah.
And I'm not quite sure where that's coming from. I also find it really interesting with the VT, the specific girl who said about how on Halloween you're allowed to dress sexy as though it's inappropriate any other time of the year. I thought that was quite an interesting, thing for me. I still feel like I shy away from like funny costumes or like goblins.
Yeah.
Such a bizarre one. But yeah, I thought that I didn't feel the pressure, but looking back on it now, I think I probably am still put off from the idea of fully leaning into any like scary or like silly Halloween costumes.
I would have to agree with you. I think that whilst like being silly on Halloween is fun and stuff, it's quite like in people's eyes I think it's quite childish. And I think as women we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to look good in everyday life, not just on Halloween. So I think Halloween sort of amps that because everyone is going for their best costume.
The thing is though, I wouldn't judge anyone if they, like, no matter what they dressed as. Also, I commend anyone who does dress up in like in a funny outfit also.
Yeah.
I love one of the ideas that you suggested to me because Freya messaged me a few days ago being like, what are you going as for Halloween? I was thinking maybe one of the chipmunks, Melvin and the Chipmunks.
Oh, that's my Salford Weekly costume spoiler. Yeah, but no, I think it's nice to sort of be good in your body and be aware of your body and happy about it, but there's no pressure to be dressed however you like. Halloween's meant to be fun, and I think if we put pressure on ourselves, we take ourselves out of it. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
So now we have another femme suggestion. Our reporter Anna Stelfox went to a girlhood event.
Good morning everyone. I am on my way to a girlhood event. Girlhood basically put on loads of different events in Manchester for girls to just come along so they feel less alone and you can meet people, but they put on like the cutest events. So today I'm going to a candle glass painting workshop, very autumnal. We're getting in the feels. I'm currently feeling very autumnal in like my browns, woolies, walking through all the trees with the leaves falling. But I thought I would take you guys with me and like, let's see if this is going to be a femme suggestion for this week. So let's go. Okay, just because we are literally walking past the door, I think we need to go pay someone a certain visit. Oh my god! Sorry. Wait, let me. Aww. Okay. It's busy in there, but we got our little pumpkin spice ice latte to get us in the autumnal mood. So I've done the little event, I've got my candle in here. We even got like a tote bag with like loads of goodies and face masks, and I think there's like granola bars in there, and it was just the most wholesome event. Such amazing women were there, like talking to them, and like just loads of people from different stages of life. It felt like such a safe environment, such a comforting environment. A lot of those girls like came to that event on their own as well. I would 110% say that's a femme suggestion, especially if you're looking for something like autumnal to do. Like that was just so cute, and they're constantly putting on different events. We'll link their socials so then you can go guys and check them out. They do free walks on Sundays, and yeah, just I would 110% give that a femme recommendation.
Oh.
Thank you, Anna, for the suggestion. That sounds great. But now we've been set the task of decorating biscuits.
Yes, so we have 2 minutes to decorate these digestive biscuits, and then those in the studio will decide who's won. So I'm hoping we've got some good people sat in there.
You ready?
Yep, let's go.
I didn't realise it was being enjoyed.
I didn't either. I thought we were just doing this for fun.
Now I've got candles in my mind. That's not like that. Genuinely was really like it sounded really fun.
Genuinely, it did look lovely as well.
Oh, this isn't working very well. Oh, that's the sound there. Did you hear that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh dear. I've kind of forgotten, like, I'm trying to do something and I've forgotten what it looks like.
I was trying to think beforehand, like, what do I do? But I've got no clue. I'm just going right off. Oh, actually, wait.
Do you do a lot of art, Freya?
No, I'm very much a writing person or a tech person. Like, my friend B, who I live with, does fine art, so they would be perfect at this. But, you know, I'm not B, so you know.
My mum does a lot of art, and I'm so jealous of how she does it and how, like how your brain works when it comes to
I know, I'm not
art.
a very creative. I'm a creative person in terms of like I say editing, but like different stuff like that.
No, I feel like my talent.
We're already halfway through the time.
I'm saying when it comes to writing, I'm more of a writer, but I can't really draw or paint to save my life.
Okay.
I might be better when it comes to like what was I going to say? When it comes to like if I've got the reference in front of me.
Yeah, I like tracing stuff more than like thingy. Right, how am I going to do this now? I've got an idea for a second one, but I don't think it's going to work out.
I'm not bothering with the second one. I don't have time for it.
Fair enough. Oh, 30 seconds. The sound that is awful. The sound that is making is interesting. I use some of our little tools here to. Have we got any green? Possibly. Can I borrow the green really quickly? Thank you.
I like how it's kind of a competition. We're just helping each other out here.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Okay, do you want to hold them up?
Okay, yeah, okay.
That's mine. I've gone with a little little face with teeth. You can't really see it. You've got little teeth underneath it, and then I've gone with a little pumpkin. Thank you.
Yep. This is terrible, but I've gone for. This is so not in the spirit of Halloween, but I've gone for Christmas tree.
I think you have to be disqualified for that one. It's Halloween, it's not
I'm
Christmas.
Not disqualified. I'm just last place, okay?
Fair enough, yeah. I'm happy with that. I'll get that wind under my belt and I'm happy with that. Unfortunately, that is all we have time for today.
Join us again in a few weeks for another episode of Female Empowered Media.
Thanks for tuning in. Goodbye and happy Halloween.